Welcome everybody to StarCHaser Central, where we don't have any problems with girls out in Harlem either. And this is a look at Charles Hamilton, a comprehensive look at his music, moments, and everything in between. I'm Stick Braxton.
And I am Mike D. Jackson.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
I'm okay. I can't complain. Just making it through. You know how it is, work and stuff, but I'm excited to talk about another Charles Hamilton tape, man.
Another classic one. I am ready as well. So what tape are we looking at today, sir?
Today we are diving into Crash Landing.
Good one. Good one. I love this one. All right. Yes, sir. Funny thing is, with this tape Crash Landed, as long as Genius is correct, shout out to everybody. Well, I think it's like two people, the biggest contributors on Genius for Charles Hamilton's page. Crash Landed came out June 9th, 2008, and that should be technically his first tape that the masses should know about.
Yeah.
Not if we're not counting Pink Lava Lamp that came out in 2006, we're talking about, hey, Charles is signed to Interscope. He's about to be big, about to be popping. First official tape that like anyone could have listened to. Also, DJ Ski is on here. Shout out to him. But he's not screaming on there. He's not doing the DJ drama like we talked about before. So he puts a tag on there and he lets the songs keep going. So that's always a good thing for that.
Yeah, so again, yeah, just very interesting as far as being his first tape that that we're able to listen to. Obviously, chronologically, he's done things before this, and he would release later on. But this is the first intro. It's the introduction to Charles Hamilton, kind of basically. I think he described it as him crash landing into your at the time iPods, and then taking over your eardrums, man, and trying to really implant his sound into your musical taste. And we're gonna let you know if he did that or not, man. You did bring up a great point that eventually I kind of want to just talk about now because I'm still kind of flabbergasted by it. Um, this tape, and then there's the following tape called Outside Looking. So
Right.
Crash Landed, Outside Looking, both, the first two tapes that the masses can listen to. And tell me what you told me.
All right, so it's crazy because my first official tape I listened to, if we're not talking about Pink Lava Lamp or anything like that,
Mhm,
was Outside Looking. I didn't listen to Crash Landed. I heard everything on Crash Landed,
mhm,
but there is a lot of similarities with Crash Landed and Outside Looking.
mhm,
So it's about like eight of the songs on both of them that are the same exact songs.
mhm,
So me looking at the track listing today, I'm like, I've heard this. I've heard this. Wait a minute, this is on Outside Looking, right? So I had
mhm.
to go back and like, these are on Outside Looking. But on both tapes, on Crash Landed, they got like seven other songs that aren't on Outside Looking and vice versa. So a good comparison that you said earlier is kind of like Pokemon Red and Blue. There's certain
Mhm.
Pokemon in both, but this game has one that you can't get on the other, so you kind of have to go back with the link cable, if anybody remembers what that is.
Oh, we're old. We are old. But yeah, man, I think that was very interesting. Because I was gonna bring up today how a lot of these will show up on other tapes, but I didn't realize it was literally the next tape. So that's an interesting point. Um, and we'll get to that tape Outside Looking eventually. But today we're focusing on Crash Landing. So as we ask every week, um, what was your initial feelings about Crash Landing? Obviously, you said you've never heard it, so this is actually your first listen for you.
Yeah, this is my first listen front to back. So the one thing that keeps sticking out to me, because like you said, he was talking about on the tape how he's crash landing into your iPod, your eardrums and whatnot. And I keep looking at these the cover art. You see Sonic with a mic in his hand in a UFO, and he's literally about to crash land into the earth. And I'm like, this is just it's perfect because you just look at the cover, you're just like, what is this? You listen to the tape, and first track that comes up November 10th, and anybody that knows that's Charles sampling Sonic. So it's like you look and you're just like, what is this? Okay, crash landed. This guy. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's my first reaction to it. Wow, just because If we always talk about it, you're a fan of video games, you're a fan of rap music, it's peanut butter and jelly. It meshes well. And you're just like, okay, well, what does he have next? What does he have next? What's next? You're very interested. I feel like this tape is for anybody that, especially if you're an older fan, you're just like, well, what's a good tape to start at from back in the day?
Mhm.
This the first one, and you can't go wrong with it. You can start literally here. Start right here.
No, I agree. I like it. The cover is great. It's very interesting. It's very Charles, obviously. Um, I like the color scheme. It's not like you could tell like it's Sonic, obviously because of the image, but like it's a faded kind of color, kind of fades into like a reddish, darkish color. Um, but yeah, I think one of our main questions when we first started this was, or our goals was, we run into a lot of people and they're like, oh, what kind of song or what kind of tape or what should I listen to kind of get introduced to Charles? And you fight between trying to give them something that isn't too left sometimes, or you try to find something that's best quote unquote sound quality, or the best to you. But if you just like, how can I introduce you to Charles music? The first one is probably one of the best choices because there's a wide variety of songs here. Maybe not some of the singy song ones that he does, but as far as the rapping portion, very, very solid choice here. You really can't go wrong with this. And yeah, I think that was kind of my first initial reaction to listening to it was he can do a lot of different things, or he had different rapping styles and rapping verses. Um, so yeah, I was excited to get back into this. So let's start with what do you want to start with? Well, let me ask you this: how do you feel about this particular format? So previous episodes, what we've done the Pink Lava Lamp, which feels like and it's an album, so it's like a little bit more cohesive, so things flow perfectly, song to song. You're like, this makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense. We had Sonic the Hamilton, which was a themed album or a theme tape, where there's a theme and all the songs kind of match, or like going up. It's like roots and it's going up into a tree. The tree is the theme. Um,
Right.
so how do you feel about this, where it's kind of just like a collection of songs? So that's three different type of things that you listen to. How did you feel about this?
All right. So me personally, I think this is actually, we can consider this an actual mixtape. Charles actually calls this a mixtape, even though
Hmm.
he calls all his projects. And sometimes he calls them albums, but I feel like
Hmm.
this could be a true mixtape in the
Hmm.
sense of what we know as a mixtape of, yeah, there are some original songs on here, but there also are freestyles and his own versions of songs on other people's beats.
Hmm.
Nowadays, you can't really do that. Otherwise, you're getting your song taken down, you're getting your video taken down. The labels are going to talk to you. But I feel like this concept that he went about was great. Now, you made a good point about with his other projects, Pink Lava Lamp and Sonic the Hamilton, that had themes to it. With this, there's not as big as a theme of it, but it's the whole thing of, okay, I gotta still put these songs in a certain order so it flows together. And I feel that DJ Ski helped out a little bit with that because songs still transition into each other, kind of like how when you're listening to anything on like your iPod,
Hmm.
even your iPhone now, any type of Android phone, you have the songs, they kind of sync into each other. Hey, this song's basically over, but within 5 seconds, the next song's starting to play into each other. So I think it still works well. And also people have to remember, since this is Charles' first tape, he's 20, about to turn 21 around
Hmm.
this time. And this is a really fun side of Charles you get to see. Because like I said, he's doing a lot of freestyling. He's just trying to bar you up on every song. He's trying to show you his lyrical prowess. And um sometimes that's what people want to hear. Sometimes people don't want to hear, oh, I want a sad song, a meaningful song. With this, it's just, hey, I'm gonna give you bars and beats, beats and bars, and I'm gonna hit you over the head. And I think he did a fine job with it. Fine job.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's different, right? Because like I agree with the point that this is the close, not the closest, but it is very mixtape feeling. Um, because of him rapping over other people's beats and basically creating new songs that are old songs. Um, yeah, I don't know which one I would prefer. I do like the themed albums and themed tapes, and I do like how the Pink Lava Lamp feels like an album, right? This is like
Yeah.
a collection. This is almost kind of, if you really want to look back at it, it's kind of like a best of type of thing, which is crazy because it
Yeah.
was the first tape. Um, and not to say that all the songs here, but I would put on like a best of tape, but we will get to that one day eventually. Um,
Yeah.
but I do like the fact that he's like, it's almost like he sat down like these are the songs I'm gonna put on here. And this is a great representation of myself at this time. And so yeah, I'm not mad at the format. I think I do prefer themes and like the album feel a bit more, but I'm not mad at this at all. I enjoy the listen for sure.
Definitely. It's a certain energy. I don't know how to really explain it. Charles has said this in a song, not on this tape, but on a different one. It's a certain je ne sais quoi, which means, it's a certain something. But
Yeah.
you can just tell that and it just makes sense because before he was homeless, just in the worst of conditions. This
Mhm.
is at the point of his life. He signed an Interscope, 20 years old, basically has the world about to have the world in his hands.
Mhm.
So at this point, he's like, I can't do wrong. I'm kind of the golden child right now. So like, what? Give me more. Give me more. What does the world have to offer me? Because I'm about to show y'all exactly why you shouldn't have doubted me in the first place. I just like I said, I love the energy. I think this is what a lot of people are trying to say if they ever tell Charles like currently like, hey, that old feeling you used to have. I think this is like what they mean by this. Like this, the outrageousness, the brashness, the in your
Mhm.
face. Like this is like this is Charles at his most ignorant. I'd like to say at this
Yeah,
point. That works for
definitely.
me.
Now this had 16 songs, and actually all 16. There was no skits or anything like that. So 16 tracks. Um, yeah, so let's give me your top three.
Oh man, top three. All right, so and it's oh man, because I feel like I'm being so commercial with this, but top three, if I had to choose.
Mhm.
All right, I know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to go with November 10th.
But now I'm done better. I need a girl going wild with an umbrella. I'm sorry, I'm Ariane, but I'm all Ariana. You all Leon. This is a rap, you it's already gone. How the hell can a geek make a party song?
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Brooklyn Girls, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna switch it up, and then I'm gonna go with Unapologetic.
Okay.
Uh, so uh, the first two, November 10th and Brooklyn Girls, it's November 10th. It's Brooklyn Girls. Like, you kind of have to know those songs. If you don't know those songs, it's like, come on now. Like these are like, I won't say top 10, but like these are at least like I'll say top 10 Charles Hamilton songs you need to know if you are a Charles Hamilton fan. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of just like I'm not going to ask you to name every single tape because there's 100 something tapes, but
Yeah.
you gotta know them. November 10th, it's the Marble Zone beat that
Mhm.
he flipped. Amazing.
Mhm.
If y'all seen the actual video, he's playing the game or acting like he's playing the game, just nostalgia. So I love it because of that. Brooklyn Girls, it's Brooklyn Girls. Like I come on. I'm not gonna say anything else about that. And then Unapologetic. I relate to it so much because I'm kind of the same way.
Mhm.
Charles, he has his moments where he's arrogant, he's cocky, but it's at the end of the day, he talks his stuff and he backs it up.
Yeah.
Um, and at some point, um, can you really apologize or should you apologize for doing exactly what you said you were going to do? Like you can, but at the same time, it's like, nah, I'm not apologizing. I told y'all I was great, and now I'm showing you I'm great. These are
Yeah.
the results. These other rappers that you guys have championed, they're not doing what I'm doing, and they're not going to be able to do it at this rate that I'm doing it. We all
Mhm.
know Charles throwing out tapes left and right, left and right. So it's like, what am I apologizing for? Ask the people that you champion, the people that you listen to do better. Tell them to put out some more tapes with quality, with substance and quality, because it's not like he's just putting out. At this point, he's not putting out just a bunch of tapes, and it's just like, oh, I'm just, It's like, no, these are it's a banger, it's a hit, it's a banger. He's just
Yeah.
going on and on. Those would be my top three, though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, November 10th, I feel like you gotta know because I mean it's an important date. Obviously, it's Charles's. Yeah, I mean,
Birthday.
yeah, it's his birthday, so it's like you got like even if you don't know the song, at least you got to know at least the date. That's the significance between the two. Like you said, the marble zone flip is crazy, like just stupid. Um, it's funny. I have a few songs that, and I'll get into it when I talk about how this listen is different from my first listen. But unapologetic, I'll just say now, I like unapologetic more today than I did before, which is
Oh,
crazy. Yeah, because like I would listen to unapologetic, but it wouldn't be like, oh, gotta keep it. Like I sometimes I would just be like, not today. But it's like you get older and you're like, oh wait, this shit is really good. Like really good. And you start being like, yeah, I don't want to say I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a different, I'm in a different place. So like it hits a little different. So yeah, I understand that. And I mean I told Charles this one day, Brooklyn Girls, and me and my wife loves that song. So it's like we danced to it at our wedding. So it's like that's always gonna be like a huge part of, of my life at least. You know what I'm saying? So it may not be like my top whatever song, but it's gonna be one of the most important songs that I had, right? So absolutely one of the I like all your picks, honestly. They all ended up in my great category that I separate things through. Um
gotcha.
for my three, it's interesting. Oh, because I have a lot in this great category.
A lot, a lot, a lot.
Uh and I'm trying to think of today, not necessarily. Actually, I'm just trying to think overall because some songs I like way more before, but then like some are like better now to me. So I'm gonna go. I'm trying to think of which ones will I play the most. I'm gonna go Superman,
All right.
Wonderful Pink Polo, uh, and then I'm gonna say, oh man, I'm gonna go after this shut up.
All right. Okay. I like that. Especially I just love that with after this shut up. I feel that the tape at that point turned like it kind of changed in a good way because it's just like, hey, these are like, some of my beats and whatnot. And then uh are y'all ready for some bars? Because I feel like with that intro that they had, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm about to really, spit bars now. If you didn't think I was spitting bars before, sit back, relax, enjoy the show because that intro, and then we know Charles can go forever and ever, and he
yeah,
showcased that song, the whole tape. So I love that pick right there. So
yeah. He goes crazy on that, and then that's I'll get to it. But yeah, that's when it comes to hey, show me a song where Charles is just really really rap. This would be one I would pick up. I'd be like, I know no hook, none of that. Let's just hear him rap. This is one of them because he goes crazy. Um, it's and yeah, there's not really much you can say. You just gotta shut up. You literally have to shut up and listen. Like literally.
also,
So
hold on real quick. It's funny you say that because it's called After This Shut Up, and like you said, what more can you say? Because that is the
that's how
beat.
he ends. Yeah, that's how he ends the song. What more can I? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy.
It
Uh,
ties in.
yeah, he's smart, man. He's really smart at what he does. Superman, it combines like two of my favorite things: Charles Hampton and Lupe Fiasco. Again, 1A, 1B, really, if we're being honest, for me.
Yeah.
Um, at this time, he was getting those comparisons, and in a way, I understand. I kind of understood it, where how the Lupe Charles Hamilton thing, because I felt like a lot of people thought it was like backpack or like nerd rap or whatever. But I'm like, their styles were different. You know what I'm saying? Like their styles were different. I'll say that. I
I
don't know.
think very much different. Very
Yeah,
much
I
different.
don't know how to explain it, but they were different. I understood the comparison, but I wouldn't have made the comparison.
So I'll say from my standpoint, when Lupe came out, I wasn't a big fan of him. Not that I didn't like him, but like, I heard Kick Push, but I didn't actually like go and listen to like any of his like albums till like later on.
Mm.
And I think I could be wrong, but I think around this time was like that controversy that happened at the VH1, I think it was like the Hip Hop Honors, where Lupe said something about like he didn't know the a Tribe Called
Oh
Quest, like
yeah,
a certain song.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it was around that time, whatever. And my thing is this: I was so surprised by that. 'Cause I'm like, okay, Lupe's this backpack rapper, and
mm,
then he doesn't know what really. But at the
yeah,
same time, like that doesn't like what we learn later on in life, like, hey, just because someone is lyrical, miracle, spiritual, doesn't mean he listened to this person and this group
yeah,
and that group. But even like hearing, how Lupe would rap, and like I said, I wasn't a big fan of Lupe, but I like how he rapped. I'm like, yo, this guy can rap, he can spit. But hearing him and then hearing Charles, I just couldn't make the correlation other than like you said, backpack rap, like the nerdy type of, but other than that, didn't see it, couldn't,
yeah,
really like put it together because I felt more of like what everyone else did, like, hey, this guy Charles, he's making his own beats and he's flipping stuff. That's
mm,
more similar to Kanye. I see more of that, like,
yeah,
okay, more of the Kanye thing. I seen that. And also the cockiness and the arrogantness. I didn't really feel like Lupe was like that cocky and arrogant. He has his moments. You definitely see it now. Like these days, I felt like
sure, yeah,
years later, he definitely showed that a lot more then. But I felt like he was a lot more humble when Lupe first came out. He was a lot more humble. Charles was not. He was he's shown a lot more humility now. But
yeah,
when Charles first came out, no, he didn't. He really wasn't showing that at all. So I see more of the Charles and Kanye than the Charles and Lupe type of thing.
for sure, yeah. That was the correlation I had too. But I again, I understood it, but I wouldn't have made the comparison myself. But yeah,
Right.
that record is great. Charles really good at sports references and sports analogies and sport bars. He had a basketball one in there, kind of a baseball one. Like he goes crazy on this one. Um, but yeah, I'd probably say my favorite song on here is definitely My Wonderful Pink Polo. I can listen to that every time, uh, like every time, anytime. And this is just another example of just that brashness. Is like nobody's fucking with me. God doesn't count. Do you know how crazy you gotta be to just be like before you say it, before you say it, they don't count.
It's the fact where we all know Charles has said some outlandish stuff before, so it's like, you sure you want to say that? He's like, I already said it. It's too late, too
Yeah,
late. And I'm keeping it, almost on this tape. Anytime if he said anything crazy or he messed up, and I'm keeping it. Like, don't. We're not
yeah,
recording it. We're not re-recording it. Nope,
yeah,
I'm keeping it. The end. And like I said, you gotta love that. You love it or hate it, but that's the charm of him. So. That song is amazing. Just because what they did with it, Um, if I was to say my favorite out of
mm,
everything on here, because something like that, "Wonderful Pink Polo," that's an amazing song. It's like, do I want to say that's my favorite? Um, if I had to, you know what? I know what my favorite's going to be. Um, outside, outside
okay,
looking in, outside. I'm gonna say outside because it's once again his brash delivery. At one point in the song, he says, talking about like I guess the best three rappers of that time. He said it's me, Cassidy, and Wheezy, the new
yeah,
class. You don't see your name on the list. Why you mad?
yeah,
At that point, Charles wasn't known. Like, if we know him, okay, cool. But like in the grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, you're talking about Wayne, who was on fire at that time, considered the best rapper alive at that point.
mm,
Cassidy, he always was one of those people, punchlines and freestyles and all that. And then you have Charles, where it's just like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
For him to make that type of claim, like, yeah, I'm in that class. Y'all aren't in that class. I'm in that class. And for him to not to be known at all like that, it's just like you got a big set of balls on you, pause, bro. But okay. You really trying to say you're already here, and this is your first tape. This is your first
Yeah.
official tape. Right. I respect it. And then also with Charles, he with this song, along with some other ones, I think he started the trend of him just dissing people he just wasn't feeling. Because he brought up a line about the chicken noodle soup. He said he's better than that Jason Fox nigga, the dude that
Yeah.
made the song. What was it? The Aunt Jackie song. The Aunt Jackie song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially at that time in rap, 2007, 2008, you had all those dance songs and whatnot, and people like Charles and other rappers, especially that were on that freshman list that he was on, they decided, yeah, that's cool and all that dancing and singing and clapping, but he's like, we about to bring real lyricism back, so
Yeah.
nah, y'all need to fall back with that. We ain't doing the dances no more. We're not doing the, but overall, what outside Charles is talking about, okay, I'm not officially there yet, but I'm already got my foot in the door. I'm signed to Interscope. And Interscope at that time, they had Eminem, 50 Cent, all those people. So it's like, hey, I'm only biding my time. I'm on the
Yeah.
outside looking in, but once I drop in on y'all, it's gonna be curtains. It's gonna be a wrap for y'all. So just enjoy your time now. That's basically what is a warning shot that he basically let off on that song. So that's I would say that's gonna be my favorite for this tape.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I did want to ask you a question. Um, just a
Right.
random question. So Brooklyn Girls, Charles from Cleveland, but he lived in Harlem. Um, but he said that his preference was Brooklyn Girls in this song. So
Right.
my question to you is, what's the equivalent for Brooklyn Girls in your state?
Hey yo. So before I answer that, it's funny because you brought up the thing about him being him repping Harlem, but
Mhm.
the song is about a Brooklyn girl, and but he's originally born in Cleveland, and
Yep.
actually in outside he actually says that born out in Cleveland, raised in Harlem, money or not,
Right.
I'm going to stay here in Harlem. But
Yep.
anyway, so this is going to be a loaded question anyway because
Uh-huh.
with Charles saying that he nothing like a Brooklyn girl, and then being from Harlem, and then the backlash you got because they're like, okay, girls from Harlem being like, yo, fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, um, but the thing is, on that song, he's giving shout outs to all the women in all the
Yeah.
places, Bronx, Queens, all. But he just said, but there's nothing like a Brooklyn girl. Anyway, um, if I was to just so y'all know, I'm from Delaware, which is the first state. No one cares about that, but I just gotta say it. It's the first state. And I'm from the capital, Dover.
Yeah.
Um, so it's so crazy to say which is which.
Mm.
Um, because since Dover is the capital, but no one knows that because everyone thinks Wilmington is the capital in Delaware because Wilmington actually has more of the highlights and whatnot. Like if you're trying to go somewhere and you're trying to see the certain concerts and certain shows and
Yeah.
certain artists, you're more likely going to see them in the Wilmington area, somewhere up there. Like Dover,
Gotcha.
somewhere in the middle of Delaware, I guess you say, but where some people say no, y'all are slower, lower. Anyway,
Mm.
I'd probably have to say Wilmington. I'd probably have to say Wilmington
Okay.
just because it might be more well known. And I feel like there's that greediness and attitude because like Dover and Wilmington, they have their hood spots where people are like, oh, don't go there, you'll get shot. Don't go
Mhm.
there, you'll get robbed. Don't go there, and it's not like that in every single spot.
Right.
But if I was to say, hey, nothing like a Dewey girl or a Rehoboth girl, that's more near the beach where certain people are gonna be like, oh, so you just only want like a beach girl, you want a blonde hair,
Yeah.
you want to no, like just so I'm gonna just say Wilmington. So for this answer, I know long story short, Wilmington, just because it's probably known the most out of everybody, even though Dover is the actual capital. I'll say Dover. For you, is there a certain answer for that in your state? Would it be Richmond or?
So it's tough because like the question really what we should have asked first is what defines a Brooklyn girl? Is what we probably should have asked first, right?
Yeah,
Was was
probably.
she just like a cool girl, like down to earth girl, can do whatever. She knows her shit. She knows, you know what I'm saying? That would be the question. And then yeah, I don't know. Would it be Richmond? I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't think it'd be Richmond. I like Richmond.
Right.
Richmond's fun.
Yeah,
Rich,
people like Richmond.
Richmond has like surrounding, like cool areas too. I don't know if it's Richmond. I'm originally from the 757. So I'm originally from like the seven city areas. So like your Norfolks, your Portsmouth, and stuff like that.
Okay.
If I had to take a guess of what the actual answer is, it would probably be Virginia Beach. Would be my
Okay.
guess. And like you were saying, because you had mentioned like oh if you say like a beach area, girls think like, oh you just want a beach girl like da da da. Like I don't think you understand what Virginia Beach is. You have to actually go to Virginia Beach to understand what you're dealing with. It's not what you think. Like
Yeah.
you think you're gonna put like a face to the city, and you're not. You're gonna be completely wrong, and that's just what it is. So yeah, there have been plenty of times where I used to go across the water and hang out in those spots or be around certain spots. The girls were there. The girls were nice there. I'll say that they were
Yeah.
very nice there.
I will say this. I feel like it's with every state, but I'll say at least with my state, just even with my answer, there's great women all around. Like for
What?
example, like and that's my thing for me personally. Like I tell you, with even me being on tour and all that type of stuff, it's like sometimes I like to go to the Newark area. Sometimes I like to go to the Wilmington area. Sometimes I like to go to the beach area. So it's like
Yeah,
it just depends on my mood. Sometimes I want a chick that's going to be a little aggressive and talk shit to me or whatever.
yeah,
Sometimes I want the girl to be like all nice and be like, hey, let me buy you a drink. Sometimes I want an older chick that's going to be like, you don't know what you're doing. What do you know about this? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it all depends. Real quick, since we're on the topic of Brooklyn girls, here's a fun fact for y'all. Um, if you're on YouTube and you type in Brooklyn Girls instrumental, my YouTube channel pops up because when I wanted to make a remix to Brooklyn Girls, the beat wasn't out at the time. The song was out,
Yeah,
but the beat wasn't out. This is back in 2008, 2009, whenever I recorded it.
yeah.
I went on Google, typed in Charles Hamilton Brooklyn Girls instrumental.
Uh,
I kid you not, I went through 40 pages of the Google search. I went through
yeah,
40 pages and it was buried in there somehow where it was a file. I don't know whose file it was, but I finally
yeah.
found it where the file had the clean version of Brooklyn Girls, the
Uh-huh.
dirty version of Brooklyn Girls, a radio version of Brooklyn Girls, and the instrumental. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
please, please. I found it. And then I'm like, yo, I'm recording this in like the next day. I'm gonna make a remix to it. And the
uh-huh.
remix is in there somewhere. But yeah, if you type, I think it's like probably 100, 200,000 views on YouTube, but my YouTube page actually pops up and I will never delete it. And it's so funny because I think after that, and Charles, I'm gonna apologize right now because I don't think I got to formally apologize to him because this is before he was like really putting beats out.
Mm.
No one else had that beat. And then I put it out and I put the Z-Share link in there, and then everyone started coming out with their own remixes. So he probably didn't want that to happen. And I know he put it on one of his tapes later. I think it was like Take Me to Your Leader, the instrumental
Yeah,
tape. So Charles, I
yeah.
apologize. I probably wasn't supposed to do that, but my bad. I got a little too excited back then. So
That's hilarious, and it's crazy too because I think about that now. You know how many people let's see, Bryson Tiller flipped that
yep.
sample, and I think J. Cole also flipped that sample,
Yes, he did. Yep.
and both okay songs. But to me, the what's called the beautiful and the most perfect flip is still Brooklyn Girls. Um,
Yep.
one day we'll get into why Charles may or may not hate that song, or not hate,
Okay.
but has a complicated relationship with that song. But um, so when it comes to, we always have a song that maybe we skip it on this tape. Did you have
Uh,
any of this week? Give me
Um,
your one. I could do without this on the album.
I got you. It was a toss up because this is an actual tape I really like, and there's not really much that I would want to skip on here. It was a
Good.
toss up between two, but
Okay. I also had
uh, okay. But I it's just one. It's technically really only one where I'm like, you know what? The one I would say would be my word. My word is the one that I would, potentially. Hey, listen,
oh
man. No, don't
oh
look at me like that. Nope, nope. Don't look at me like that because you did me dirty when you said,
I
"Oh, I'm
know.
not listening to the cookout.
I
I'm
get
not
it.
listening to the
I
cookout."
get it. Yeah.
Look, out of all the songs, that was just the song where I think honestly I'm just like, okay. Now I'll let you answer this after, but I'll tell you what my second song was going to be.
Okay.
But my word, I listened to it. I'm like, it's cool. Like I vibe to it, and I don't have anything really bad to say about it. But it's
Right.
just like, it's okay. It didn't move me like any other songs. I didn't really catch anything from it. Like I didn't feel like any type of like emotion really from it. Not like
Okay.
anything bad. Not that I was like, oh, this ain't a good song. It's just like,
Right. Yeah.
that's okay. So I feel like overall it'd be like a thing where some days if I was to play this tape later on, I might listen to it. Maybe another day, I might skip it. So
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
what would be yours? What's yours?
Whew. Um. oh, that hurts. Uh.
Sorry, bro.
It is between two for me too. Um. Honestly, it's STH.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's not because like he's not rapping because he's rapping. He's definitely rapping on there. Um. And then you get the bonus of like the little freestyle thing at the end. Like, I was like, why is it so long? Then like you go through it, it's like, oh, because he has like a freestyle thing at the end.
Yeah, 13 minutes.
Yeah, crazy, right? I just for me, and then okay, just to get you're our historian. Who was the woman rapping at the end there? Just for the historian people.
Don't know. I legit don't know. I'll be honest. I wish I knew. I was trying to look it up and trying to find it. I couldn't find anything. The only thing I could think about, it has to be one of his girls at the time, whatever. Um, uh, Now my thing is this: I don't know if Charles has ever like put out any raps with any other women on there before. I can tell you it's not Brianna. It's not Brianna Latrice. It's not
Yeah,
Brianna Latrice.
different time period.
Uh,
Yeah,
I don't so but like between where there's like women like Toya and the other girls and whatnot, I don't even know. I wish I did because I don't know if she came up with those bars herself or Charles wrote them and said, yo, like spit this. But
yeah,
she for someone that we've never, I guess, heard from again, I was pretty impressed. I'm like, okay, that's okay. Not bad.
yeah. I could do without it. It's not
Okay.
again bad. It's not bad. It's just I could do without it. I feel like if you removed it, um, another song could have ended the album, ended the tape, I guess. But that's the only reason. Um,
Okay.
oh,
Oh, real quick.
but
So that was my toss up between my
okay,
word and STA. So because
gotcha.
that's what I was going to do. Because like when I heard it, I'm like, I could do without this. I did love the fact where she was like, "Oh, hey, babe, I think I messed up at this part." He's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
who cares? We're keeping it." And that's the thing that and he says it. He said it at the end of the song. He's like, "It's supposed to be fun. Like, don't worry about it. Just come out the booth. You know what I mean? We're keeping it anyway." So, and that's the type of energy that I mentioned earlier about. He wanted to make this fun. He was having fun, saying whatever he felt, just speaking his mind,
yeah,
just laying bars down. So, but I will say this hearing it, I'm like, it's between this and my word. And then, you get that little pause for like maybe like 10 seconds, and then you get these LA freestyles. I believe he's in LA doing
mhm,
freestyles, and Charles just literally just keeps going. Like he's at the radio station just rapping, just keeps going and going. And then eventually at some point he'll stop rapping. And then not the DJs, but the disc jockeys, whoever, they're just like, all right, so we got this and that. Somehow someone flips to another beat. He's like, oh, hold up,
Yeah.
hold up. I'm going back in. And then he keeps
Yeah.
going and then keeps going. And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna stop. Then they flip the beat again. Oh, whoa, I'm going back in again. I'm going.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and it's so refreshing because a lot at that time there's only a few rappers that you would really see go for like 10 minutes. It was
Mhm.
only a few people that you could say, okay, someone like Cassidy could go for like 10 minutes. Joe Budden at that time was putting out songs that were like 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Charles, it's just like, yo, this guy's 20 and he's just rapping like that. Like they said, man, you were put on this earth to just rap. I don't
Yeah.
know what else you can do, but they said you could just rap. And that's technically what saved it for me. Like STH, just that song, I'm just like, it's okay, but if we're putting those together, because it technically is the
For
same
sure.
song, then I had that really saved it for me. Because like I
Gotcha.
said, I'm hearing the bars, I'm hearing the freestyle, I'm like, I'm doing the face, I'm God. My word, like I said, I was just like, okay. So other than that, that's it's between those two, but yeah, that's why I chose my word. Not that it's a bad song, but it's just the freestyles on STH at the end. That's amazing.
No, I'm not mad at that. Like I said, it's a bonus. It's a bonus content. You're like, yeah, I can see how that would put it over. My other one would have been ambitions of a musician.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why so?
Um. hmm. Again, he's rapping. I just there's how like Charles, how like Lil Wayne. Let's just say Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne when he raps over a beat, especially in the 2006 through 2010, 11 era. If he rapped on your song, it was actually his song.
Yeah,
I don't care what the little thing said. Like, oh, this is no. Let's go and scratch that up. Let's put Lil Wayne featuring you. That's what Lil Wayne used to do, right? Uh,
yeah, he did.
Charles Charles has a lot of songs where like I like his version maybe better than the other artist's version.
Okay,
This is not one of them. I'm still Tupac still owns this one for me. You know what I'm saying?
right.
If you know what I'm saying. So it's
Okay,
like not that I dislike the song or saying like, oh, this is just bad or whatever. It's just that I still think of the Tupac version
it
over.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this though. This might be biased somewhat, but I agree. I still, if I really want to hear, my ambitions as a rider, I want to hear Tupac's version, whatever. I don't mind Charles's version. When it
Right.
comes on the tape, I still play it.
Correct.
But do you think you feel that way because, you know, because is this thing about with certain rappers because sometimes it's like hey there's just a certain beat that when it comes on you think of this certain rapper and no one else should ever rap on it period like there's even like Jay-Z beats like that but is it more because you feel like Tupac just did a great job or because he passed because sometimes people do that where hey um I don't want nobody rapping on any Tupac beats. I don't want nobody rapping on a Biggie beat. I
That's
don't want
fair.
nobody rapping on a pun beat or a big L beat. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like it's more like, hey, nah, I just feel like Tupac just did it that much better, or do you feel like it's more like, hey, it's don't rap on a dead rapper's beat that is a legend in the game, because there's still people that think that.
Yeah, there is. I'm not in that old school way of thinking where like it's no one can ever touch a beat if whatever. I feel like if you're going to touch it, I feel like you gotta go. You have to go. You have to go. You know what I'm saying? And again, not to say Charles didn't go here. It's just
Yeah,
that I think Ambitions as a rider, as a song, is like here. It's like really hot. And so, and one thing I can do is kind of compare it to that, right? And it's like good effort, but it's still here. It's like Superman, the Superman record. Like I love Superstar by Lupe Fiasco here, but I
yeah,
also like that Superman record from Charles. So I don't mind it. That doesn't bother me as much, right?
okay,
It's just like yeah, I don't mind that he passed. Like you can rap on a deceased rappers, one of the best records. It's fine. If Charles wanted to rap over, he probably has. There's so many songs. If he wanted to rap over California Love, I think he could do it. He would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But would it be one of those things where it's like, would I skip it because I feel like California Love is up here as a song? So I don't know. But those are the two for me, SDH and Ambitions as a musician that were just like, it's cool.
Okay. Yeah, because I will say this real quick. I still give, Charles his props, and of course you do too. Because like I said, with certain songs, it's like, hey, this one's right up here. You have to be almost close to it. And like I said, it's I don't think anyone's going to be able to top My Ambitions as a Rider by Tupac. But with a lot of these newer artists who are taking some of these beats and then, they're new aging them by, rapping over them and changing them up, and they're not even close to what Charles is doing. Like they're like bottom tier. And my thing is, I'm like, that's my part that I don't understand. And I know we're older, and I hate to be like the gatekeeper rap, like, oh, you can't rap on this beat or this and that. But it's like, man, some of y'all aren't even doing close to justice on some of these beats. Some of these beats, it's like, no, like someone should have like took that beat from you and said, we're gonna rap on something else. We're not doing this. Because you're disrespecting yourself, you're disrespecting the culture, you're disrespecting the legacy. Just no, stop it. Smack them on the head.
Keep your lyrics or whatever it is what you want to do, but you're not doing that to that beat. And it can't happen. Every week there's like, ooh, they flipped a song, and I'm like, stop doing that. Be original. do it on an original beat. That bullshit you're doing. I don't want. Stop doing it.
I don't know who the rapper is, but I heard they flipped Freak a Leak by Petey Pablo. I'm like, all right, see, it's stuff like that where I'm like, all right, no, just stop. Y'all, sorry, I gotta say, NLE Choppa, he flipped Nelly's Hot in Here. No.
Oh yeah.
No.
But see, here's the thing, because like the worst part about that is that when the original comes on, they're like, oh, is that NLE Choppa? And you're like, get the hell out. Get out of here. Don't come back to this party. Don't come back in this room. Don't come back. In fact, don't come back to the state. Like, just don't be here. Because I know disrespect the dude, but it's like there's levels to this. Some of these songs, oh, this is the flip. Like, oh, what was it? Oh, when they flipped Some Cut.
Oh, okay. All right.
Some Cut. And they're like, oh yeah, that's that other song. Like, no, that's the Some Cut beat. I know that creaky chair anywhere. We're not doing that, bro. Like, stop it. I know that bed creak anywhere. Stop playing with me. And I hate this new era of just trying to, because like everybody's trying to flip, like the way Charles flipped samples and the way Charles chopped samples, it was unique, it was fresh, and he was still giving you a quality record about it.
Exactly.
They're throwing like minimalistic bars and lyrics and just hoping that the beat will catch you. And I hate that part of music right now.
It's like, why don't I just listen to the original version? Like you said with Charles, you didn't feel like, oh, you gotta listen to the original if he flipped something. It's just like, hey, here's the original, but here's this other song. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh, sorry, one more. I apologize. I'm so sorry. The worst right now, top one worst right now is Busta Rhymes and Coi Leray. They flipped Ain't No Nigga by Jay-Z and Foxy. That's top one right now. I'm sorry, but that has to go. That is garbage. That's literally like, don't ever, no one else. I'm telling y'all right now, anyone hearing this, don't rap on that beat. No one else. Right. I don't care. I'll tell Jay-Z, don't rap on the beat again. You know what I mean? Just the song's great. The original song's great. We're not doing it ever. We're not doing it again. We're not doing a remix. We're not doing a remix of the remix. We're not doing a TikTok version. Stop. Right.
Yeah.
Stop. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm officially done.
Bro, I get it. It's rough. Okay. So again, this is your first front to back listen of Crash Landed. So tell the people, A, how you felt after listening to it, and B, what you would rate it. Are we telling the people about our rating system? I don't even know how to tell the people about our rating system now.
All right, so we're still working on the rating system. I know Yeah, we're still working on it. I know we kind of talked about it on the last episode where we're like, hey, we could do like a, if we feel like it's a supersonic type of tape, this is like, hey, this is a classic. If we're going to
Yeah.
say, hey, we're going to call it like a bass sonic tape, it's like, oh, it's a really good one. Check it out. But we're still trying to figure that out. I'll first start with how this tape made me feel. So like I
Yeah.
said, my first time officially listening to it, even though I heard most of the songs from outside looking, it was still like I felt good about it. It was one of those things where like it brought me back because a lot of these songs I haven't heard in a while, and
Mhm.
then with some of the songs that hearing the actual track listing back to back, like I said, there's only one song I would technically skip.
Right.
I felt like it was great, especially knowing that this was his first outing. Like, hey, this is my first project I'm putting out to the world for everyone to hear. I'm on Interscope. Um, Great way to start off. Great way to start off.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of how Charles first came into the game, and just a perfect way for people to understand, like, hey, this is what he said, this is what he wanted to do, and this is what he wanted to accomplish. Because this is before the Hamiltonization process. Like, this is before he actually started, when he really started saying, all right, I'm about to drop these like 8 tapes in 4 months.
Right.
Um, but overall, great intro, great tape. Um, I would say this is definitely a must listen if we're going to still kind of go by the rating or not. Definitely a must listen. You need to listen to this, not because it's the first one, because it's a really great one.
Mhm.
Supersonic level of a tape. It
Okay.
definitely is a must listen. If you haven't heard it, you need to listen to it. I'm putting it up there. It's up
Okay.
there.
I'm not mad at that at all. Um, so for me, I'm trying to think about. uh, Yeah, I think because when I think about like how I listened to first and how I listened later, or today and how I feel about it today, I definitely feel like I have a better appreciation today because I like a lot of more songs today. So like for example, if you had asked me, let's see, 2008, so 15 years ago, again, very old. If you had asked me 15 years ago, Jesus, uh, what some of my favorite songs would have been, I would have had like Toy Story on there. I would have had Outside Looking. Well, again, still good song. Outside Looking. I would have had, and a bunch of the songs I have here. But today I have a way more appreciation for like Unapologetic, After This Shut Up. Uh, Beetlejuice, I didn't necessarily like at first, like when I first heard it. Today, I really love the record. Incomplete Circle, used to never listen to Incomplete Circle, um, but I love the record. I think it's a great song. So yeah, I feel like today I have an even better appreciation for the record. It's moving more today than it did earlier, which is crazy because again, great introduction to Charles. Like it's one of the best step forwards you can really make, your first step. And
Yeah.
you put out like this great body of work and a great collection of songs. Um, I would say it's a yeah, I would say it's like a kind of like a cult classic. So like a Sonic level Sonic tape. Definitely go listen to it. You're likely gonna listen to a lot of this album. You're gonna like a lot of songs from this tape. And yeah, man. Yeah, go definitely I would definitely say he crash landed into my iPod and to my musical taste for 15 plus years now. So
Yes, sir. Successfully. He crash landed successfully. Even though crash landing is not a good term, but
nah,
he
it's a
he's
horrible way.
it's a, but that was his plan. He said he's going to crash land, and he crash landed. I'll say this: when you do have to crash land, are you surviving? Because it's one of those things like, hey, we're going
Yeah,
for a crash landing, unfortunately, but we're going to try and uh make as well. In his case, he wanted to make as much damage as possible in the rap game in a good way, but like when it comes to actual crash landing, you're trying to minimize as much damage. But
yeah,
in the rap sense, he crash landed successfully. I will
yeah.
say that.
I would have to agree for sure. Um, but yeah, it's another episode, man. Be sure to follow us both on our individual social medias. I'm at Stick Around 54 on Instagram. That's STIK around 54. Mike, you're at what?
On my Twitter, because I'm not calling it X, I'm gonna keep telling y'all this. On Twitter, it's Mike D Jackson, Mike DEE Jackson. And then on Instagram, it's the Mike Jackson.
Be sure to let us know what you want us to listen to, what moments you want us to cover. Uh, we're gonna do a lot of fun stuff. I want to do like best verses. I want to do best tapes. I want us to give rankings of our best tapes, best songs. I want to do a lot of different things. I want to do like brackets. I want to do all types of fun stuff in regards to just Charles Hamilton music, Charles Hamilton, period. So let us know what you want us to do. Let us know um, what you like about the pod so far, and what would you like us to do to improve. And most importantly, be sure to follow us and subscribe, man. Oh, I sound so nasty saying that.
But
I
you
said
gotta
that
say
sounds
it.
disgusting.
You have to say it though. It's one of those things where you feel dirty, you feel like a crook, but if you don't ask, people aren't going to do it. They're going to listen and be like, oh, this is great. Should I follow them? It's
Yeah,
you have to ask. You have to ask for it. We don't mean to be like everyone else, but we want some engagement. We know that we aren't the only Star Chasers out here. We know we aren't the only Charles Hamilton fans. We want y'all to engage with us. Tell us, oh, I didn't like your list. Oh, I did like your list. I would have switched this around. I want to switch that around. We want to hear that. So it's going to bring back the vibes that we used to have back in the days where when we used to always talk about it, because now it's like there's so many people scattered around, and it's kind of like finding your lost long brother and sisters. Like, oh wait, you listen to Charles Hamilton? Wait, you
yeah,
you know about Charles Hamilton? So we don't mean to be pushy, but seriously, like let us know, like reach out to us, subscribe, follow, give us a shout out, anything. We appreciate it all. We really do.
absolutely, man. This is Stick Braxton signing off from Star Chaser Central, where we also encourage you to follow the dreams.
Chase the stars.